Hello and welcome to another episode of SPFBO News, or SPFBO News, if we're going by the name affectionately given to this contest by the participating authors. My name is Katherine D. Graham. I'm a USA Today best-selling fantasy author, a book reviewer, and an editor, as well as a SPFBO9 contestant, and I'm going to be your host this evening as we talk about what is new in the second episode of SPFBO News. Today we're going to mostly be talking about who is talking about SPFBO. This is the 9th year. For those who don't know, I'm going to go ahead and pop my head up. Hey, everybody. If you're joining live, let me know where you are in the comments, and I'll be happy to give you a shout out. But yeah, hey, Catherine. Catherine, lounge room, second cup of coffee. That's a writer right there. Hey, AF. Hey, Steve. Hey, everybody watching on Twitter. So yeah, this is the 9th year of Mark Lawrence's self-published fantasy blog off. And I was very intrigued as I was doing the research for today's news episode to see all the different kinds of vloggers and bloggers who are talking about the contest who are not contestants. They're not judges. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of those people tonight. Now, if you're watching as a SPFBO author and you're here to get stats, I will still get to those. Those will be after this beginning piece, so stay tuned because I do have what's new on the cuts and everything else. But with that, let's dive into the SPFBO news for today, July 17th, 2023. So first off, I was able to find 3 separate vloggers here on YouTube. Today's focus is going to be YouTube users. Next week, I'm going to be focusing more on bloggers, but I will mention one specific blogger today. These 3 vloggers all have SPFBO9 TBR lists, which make me really excited because looking at their past videos, I'm led to believe that there might be some reviews from these people. So yay! Thank you so much to all 3 of you. This is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. Let me go ahead and knock that out right here. A lot of these bloggers don't even know I'm mentioning them tonight, so go ahead and give them a follow. Their links are in the description box. But I don't get any kickbacks from anybody mentioned or any of the links today, so just get that out there. But first we have Boiled Jellyfish Reads, who has just released a SPFBO9 TBR around the time SPFBO is getting ready to start up, and I believe has put out another SPFBO book, all about the books here, SPFBO video since then. Then there's Emily Elizabeth Book Lover. I stumbled across her video today, even though it came out 1 month ago, and was very intrigued to see some of the videos or some of the books. Now I'm flipping it the other way that are on her TBR list from the self-published fantasy blog off year 9 edition. And Portable Magic. Portable Magic is one of the most recent ones. This video just came up 10 hours ago, so welcome to Portable Magic, to the SPFBO adventure. But yeah, if you want to make your own TBR, there's an entire list put together by Mark Lawrence, who organizes SPFBO, that you can get at his website. I put that link in the description box as well. Any of the links for any of these people, I've already gone and looked up for you guys and put in the description box so you don't have to go search for them. Moving on, I have a few special vloggers who I'm going to shout out here. I did actually ask Shay permission to post hers on here. Shay has taken the brave role of doing first chapter reviews for SPFBO books. There are now 4, I believe, of these out and more to come. Shay is a reading machine, you guys. I was watching her videos for the last couple weeks, and I've been super intrigued to see what she thinks and whether or not she'll actually continue. And she's actually purchased some of these books in paperback form. Her YouTube name is Shaken in My Books. Next up, we have Patrick Ryan. Patrick's also got some SPFBO9 reading plans for the TBR list, but also made an entire playlist devoted to reviewing self-published books, not just SPFBO, to my knowledge. And what I love the most is that these reviews look like they're spoiler-free. As you can see in the example here, Voice of War, which is a SPFBO9 novel, spoiler-free review. So if you're looking for an open, honest review from someone who just loves to read, but you want to hear it without the spoilers, Patrick Ryan's YouTube is a channel for you to check into. 4 Paws and a Book was very active in SPFBO8 last year. It's actually when I came across their channel. And now they're back announcing SPFBO9. And also, as you can see, used Kerplunk to choose their TBR for July, too. It's just a lot of fun. So if you're looking for something like that, definitely go check out 4 Paws and a Book. And from there, we're moving over into people who have connections with SPFBO, I think except for Current Chapter. Current Chapter has one SPFBO-related book review video that you can see here. And so it's a very good overall honest review. The other people you see here, the Nerdy Narrative, Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and our own fellow participant, Tori Talks, have been reviewing SPFBO books together. They also do other SPFBO-related content. Tori Talks has been interviewing other SPFBO authors. So these are all channels worth checking out just to get open, honest reviews. I listed the Nerdy Narrative and Andrew's Wizardly Reads, even though they are judges for the competition, because their blogs are not the assigned blogs. They are judging as part of an umbrella blog. I believe Andrew's on Bookbourne. So, for example, so you could go check out the Bookbourne blog, which we'll get to in a little bit. Finally, as I mentioned, we have one actual blog that I'm mentioning tonight, and then next week I will be devoting some SPFBO content that are on non-judge blogs. Make sure to mark your calendar for that. But the Enthralled by Love blog is not mostly romance. I love that. Has featured already multiple SPFBO9 books and talked about those books and those authors. You can see 4 of the recent features from that blog here. The Bloodborne Dragon, The Unchosen, Jagged Emerald City, and The Phoenix and the Sword. Yes, Raina. So thank you so much, Raina, for all the time and effort you have obviously put into making this blog for readers to find these amazing books and just get an idea of what these books are about, especially when you are also working so hard in the competition. It just means the world. With that, we're going to shift gears a little bit, get into some other aspects of the news. I promised you guys specials, and here they are. SPFBO9 novels that are running specials right now, today. 99 cents through July 17th. That's today. Is Semifinalist, Jessica A. McMinn's The Ruptured Sky. And the links to these are in the description box as well, so don't worry. All you got to do is scroll down a little bit if you're watching on YouTube. The Legend of Tahiri, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, by J.E. Perazzi, is also 100% free in July if you're a Smashwords reader. I don't have a lot of Smashwords yet. I'm new to it, so now is a time to maybe add it to your catalog. Hills of Heather and Bone by K.E. Andrews, which I've heard so much hype about and is actually on my reading list for this week, which you guys will be able to see on this Friday's Indie Fantasy Friday review report. It is free today, so you can go grab it. This is K.E. Andrews' newest novel. I've heard nothing but good things, and from what I've read so far, it's good things. So definitely go check that out while you can get a copy for free. Lastly, we have A Whisker Behind by W.R. Gingell. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. It's 99 cents this entire month as well. So here are 4 books that you can grab this month while they're on special. And if you're looking to collect all the SPFBO books that you can, the summer book fair is still running for the next couple weeks, and there are over 80 different SPFBO9 authors who have put our SPFBO books in here, including myself, at discounts, at specials. Some of these are wide, meaning they're not just on Amazon. Some of these have audiobooks. So definitely go in, grab your copy while you can, while they're during the sale. And don't worry, if your TBR is crying like mine, I'm sorry in advance. A.F. Stewart grabbed Hills of Heather and Bone earlier today. Thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to sharing my review with you guys on it on Friday. So moving over to the stats side of the SPFBO news today, we have 0 finalists still. That's okay. We're only in phase 1. We now are up to 6 semifinalists, which is really exciting to say. 22 books have been cut and 272 are undecided, meaning they have either not been named a semifinalist or they have not been named or they have not been cut. I do have an asterisk there because I need to correct 2 points from last week's first episode of the SPFBO News. First, thanks to one of the judges who reached out to me after SPFBO News, they explained some confusion that was going on with covers with Cassidy's blog last week. So on Covers with Cassidy's team, they have divided their books among into mini batches under different bloggers and bloggers. And those people each get a book, but each book gets read twice, is what the judge explained to me last week. So one of those judges, I believe, picked a semifinalist, and there was a miscommunication as far as whether the others had been cut or not quite yet. And the answer is there have been no cuts quite yet for Covers with Cassidy. So those numbers have been corrected on the slides that you will see today. The other piece of clarification I had from last week is very simple. I asked last week or mentioned that I didn't know which order the judges were listed in on Mark's blog, and Mark was kind enough to comment and let me know that on his site, the blogs are listed in order of number of years that they have judged SPFBO. So the people at the top have judged SPFBO the longest, and that is a huge feat and a huge amount of time given to this contest. So thank you to all of you bloggers. And then just for fun, there is a new addition to Mark's website. The stats page, again, is in the description box, where anything that is in red, titles that you see written in red or author names that are in red, those have been cut. And ones with a plus sign and bold are ones that are semifinalists. And then green will be finalists, but of course there are no finalists yet. We have to get through phase 1. So now that we've clarified that, it's time. I hope everybody's got their glasses to send a drink to the fellow fallen this week. Let's see how many books there are, who got cut, who stayed, and we're going to start it off with celebrating our brand new semifinalists. There are 2 new semifinalists this week, so all hail to our 2 new semifinalists for year 9. We have Death's Disciple by Emma L. Adams, and we have The Ruptured Sky by Jessica A. McMinn, which you guys saw earlier, that's on sale for 99 cents. Congratulations to both of you. Already there are interviews going up. I think I saw one for Emma L. Adams earlier today go up on Fantasy Book Critic, or I think Jessica A. McMinn did as well. So I will speak more to those next week too. Yes. Woo! Yes. Good job. Good job. Very proud and excited, especially since they were in the mini batch with my book. And I'm just going to take a slide aside here and say I cannot tell you guys how proud I am of all of these books. Even if you didn't make it to semifinalists and you've joined me in the cut fields today, that's okay. Putting your book out there was a huge feat, and you did it. Let's dive into the blog by blog stats. First up, we have Fantasy Faction. And I know, I see it in the Facebook group. I see it in Twitter. I see it in the Discords. People want to know who's cut, who's safe, who made it. But as of July 17th, we are still left waiting for this epic group of 30 novels to be read. This week on Fantasy Book Critic, there are 18 books left to read. There's been some major headway. 9 total books have been cut now, and 3 semifinalists from this blog have been announced. You just saw 2 of the semifinalists. They were both from Fantasy Book Critic, but we're going to raise a drink to all of our fallen comrades. The 4 new cuts this week. There's Beautiful Undone, Heart of Jasparia, The Vow That Twisted Fate, and Where Madness Lies. So good job for trying, everybody, And thank you to Esme Rosalind, who left a glowing review for most of these books in many ways. There were good strengths and weaknesses mentioned across the blog for all of these. And if you would like to see the official blog to read all of those reviews, which I highly recommend, you can do that on Fantasy Book Critics blog. Every single one of the 10 bloggers who are judging this contest are linked in the description box, because sometimes a book may not be for you, but it could be exactly what somebody else is reading. And Esme makes some great points. So yes, Steve's raising a glass. Laura's raising a glass. Moving on, everybody. Keep that head up. Moving on to Lynns Books and the Critiquing Chemist. Now we got Katherine in here with a glass or two. Lynns Books and the Critiquing Chemist. They have 30 books left to read. None cut. No semifinalists yet. So holding our breath there. There's some good books in that one too, just across the board this year. Moving over to the Weatherwax report. One book has been cut. There have been no semifinalists announced as of yet, but Esme Weatherwax, who's the judge here, is definitely leaving some safes, I believe, or did. One for someone else to enjoy. Yes. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait. 26 books left to go on Weatherwax. Becky M is another YouTube blogger, has 3 books cut so far, 23 books left to read, no semifinalists as of yet. So if you're in the 6 who have not been read yet, there's still a chance for you. Don't give up. Before We Go blog this week has announced another book cut, and one semifinalist was also announced last week, I believe. That should be on last week's blog if you missed it. 27 books left to read. The newest cut for the Before We Go blog is Shadow of the Winter Moon, and I adore this cover so much, and it is on my TBR list. Curious to know if you're watching, if this one's on your TBR list as well. But yes, so we're going to raise a glass to the newest Fallen here on Before We Go blog. Moving on, we have Queen's Book Asylum. They are also shuffling through their books. They have 22 books left to read. Yeah, we got Steve, we've got JP. Everybody raising glasses for the Before We Go blog. So 7 books have been cut from Queen's Book Asylum, a couple new ones that you're going to see today, and then the ones that I showed last week. 1 semifinalist and 22 books left to read. Today, the 2 new cuts for Queen's Book Asylum are The Ring Breaker by John Gill, and The Wildness by Susan Maxwell. And I know, having read those reviews, that there was a lot to take in both of these books. Some heavy-duty world building going on in these books. Yeah, it's a great cover. I was sad for both of these, both on my TBR. Yes. Some great points. I love that the bloggers this year are all putting a lot of thought and reasoning into the reviews, because it makes it so much easier to find a better suited audience. And also, as an author, it really helps us figure out how to improve our craft if we're open to that. So that's exciting too. Yes, raising glasses. We are moving on to Bookbourne. Bookbourne, again, is a group that has split up the big batch. I was actually watching a live with Bookbourne on it, and now my days are running together, and I can't remember if that was yesterday or the day before. But basically, everybody's going to read through. They're going to pick some semifinalists and put it forward for review from the main blog after. 100% great reviews so far, yes. So there's 24 books left to read right now. 6 have already been read. Nothing cut. No semifinalists yet. Philip Chase has been crickets. Nothing going on quite yet on the Philip Chase blog side. And Covers with Cassidy, as I mentioned last time, Covers with Cassidy, their group is really going through their books. They have reviews posted And you can see those by hovering over the book title on Mark Lawrence's website and clicking the hyperlink there. But they have reviews actually posted for all but 18 now. So probably have read some of the most out of anybody. Nothing cut yet. That's been corrected since last week. And they have one semi-finalist. So that is it for SPFBO News today. Next week, we're going to be coming back with a chat about blogs that are featuring and talking about SPFBO News, give you some ways to connect with bloggers that way. If you have not caught the first episode or you're not sure what SPFBO is and you like sort of that backstory, go to the SPFBO News playlist. SPFBO News is a weekly series. It's going to be coming out on Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So subscribe and hit the bell and like the video so that you can support the channel. And I will see you all next week. Bye, everybody.